premise of this study is to construct a biodiverse pasture that has a mixture of native warm season grasses and native wildflowers. The native grasses are warm season grasses, and they're very productive forage for beef cattle in the summertime. And the wildflowers provide a habitat and increased resources for pollinators, particularly bees, which have been declining. One thing I've learned about bees is that they tend to have plenty of resources in the spring and early summer, but the mid and late summer is when the blooms kind of die down and flowering trees are not as abundant. And so having a pasture where we have a lot of blooms available for bees may really benefit. We planted with a mixture of 3 native warm season grasses, Indian grass, big bluestem and little bluestem, and a mix of 9 different wildflower species. And as you can see right now, this field is primarily dominated by 2 wildflowers, the gray-headed coneflower and Maximilian sunflower. In addition to native wildflowers, one idea is that not killing all of your thistles may be actually kind of beneficial, at least for pollinators. What we planted was basically about a 50-50 ratio of wildflower seed to native grass seed. And in that kind of situation, what we found is that the wildflowers kind of outcompeted. While we had plenty of wildflowers for bees, we didn't have enough native grass forage for beef cattle. You probably have to have a much higher ratio of native grass to wildflower, probably like a 75 to 25 kind of ratio. And one of the things we're looking at is finding out what's going to be beneficial to both cattle and bees. We actually killed all the existing tall fescue vegetation in the spring of 2016 and then planted a cover crop of barley in the fall. That was used for grazing. We sprayed all that again, and then we planted this mixture of native grasses and wildflowers the first week of June in 2017. Right now we're in the June 2020, and so this is the 3rd full season. Last year we planted about 1/3 of an acre here, mixture of native grasses and wildflowers. We had terrific weed pressure. Rather than to replant the entire thing, we actually just sprayed this plot with a Mazapic or a plateau probably about 2 weeks ago. You can kind of see here these bunches of grasses. These are some of the big bluestem and Indian grass and little bluestem. The natives are going to continue to grow. And what we're going to do here in the fall is overseed our wildflower mix into the established native grass stand here. And then next year we will begin actually grazing. So comparing 3 different grazing scenarios, the native grasses to a shade structure, and then also compare it to just straight tall fescue. And the reason for the shade is that one of the things that fescue does, it reduces the capacity of cattle to cool themselves. And we think that if they're allowed to graze these native grasses in the summertime, that will help alleviate that problem and improve their overall health and weight gain. So comparing, the native grasses to a shade structure, which theoretically should help cool the animals, that's the premise of the study.